$30 or $40 US. So AI can be very cheap these days. Google has something similar. And
when we started, we made this for everyone, so that everyone could find anything they need among millions of bazillions of things in the world. Today, it seems like sometimes it's easy to feel like you need a little help with the stuff just in your own world. Your photos, phone, videos, calendars, messages, friends, trips, reservations, and so on and so on. Wouldn't it be nice if you had some help with all that? Wouldn't it be nice if you had a Google for your world? That's why we're building the Google Assistant.
Hi, Amy. How can I help?
You just ask it what you need. Okay, Google, what do I have to do today? And your assistant understands and helps you out. You can even carry on a conversation with it. How long will it take to get to downtown Chicago from home?
Here you go.
What restaurants are there? Book a table at Cortino Restaurant.
Sure.
And the assistant is always there for you. So if you're on the road, you can ask it where to fill up. And if you're at home, you can ask it to play some music. Or if you're in a chat with a friend, it can show you what's playing tonight. It's like your own personal Google. Naturally, anything you share with it is safe and secure. And the more you use your Google Assistant, the more useful it becomes. Remember, my byte combo is 326.
Got it.
And soon, you'll be able to access it from all sorts of places. So it will be everywhere you are. We made this for everyone. And today, we're making this just for you.
Hi.
so those are all examples of AI in modern use. It's becoming more and more readily available for home. Okay, so very quickly, just explain what I've been doing the past couple of decades in Hong Kong. So my work deals with a lot of things that you already saw before: the planning, the scheduling, how to represent knowledge, how to find very good solutions, we call optimization, how to do search very fast, machine learning, and so forth. So quick examples of some of these companies I help. Airport is something that I do a lot. When Kai Tak Airport was still there, I helped them install a AI system that decides where airplanes should be parked once it lands in Kai Tak Airport. Again, a lot of you probably don't know what that Kai Tak Airport was. That we have another airport. Oh my God, where is it? Military secret airport. We call Kai Tak. So it's an AI system because it has a lot of knowledge. When I did the system, there was only one expert who knows everything about how to park an airplane. Because at Kai Tak, there's only 8 places that you can park an airplane that you can walk into the building. All the other places are outside. And it's very interesting. There's a lot of constraints that we need to figure out, and that was for parking airplanes. And then we also did a check-in calendar allocation. So this is back then airplanes fly really low in the city. So yeah. So we also did a system to allocate check-in counters, because in order to get on the plane, you have a counter to check in. And Kai Tak Airport at that time was oversaturated. They didn't have enough resources to handle all the traffic. So they need to use their resources very carefully. So AI helped them assign those check-in counters precisely, just enough so that people can get on board. And then we also work at the international airport. This is the new airport. We also did a system for airplane parking. Again, it's an AI system that knows all the rules. You know, like Cathay Pacific's over here, Dragon Air's over there. And then, you know, if airplanes are subject to terrorist attack, then you park them outside. So if they blow up, it's not going to impact other people. We also did work with the hospital authority, nurse rostering. It is nurse rostering in general. Rostering is deciding who should come to work when. It's a very complicated problem because there's a lot of constraints. Each day you have to make sure that you have all the adequate skill sets. Each hospital ward has the right amount of skill set to treat the amount of patients they have. And then you don't want to overwork the nurses. You have to give them breaks. They cannot work overnight every night, and you have to be fair so that you don't have the same person working Saturday and Sunday all the time. So all those constraints means it's very hard to come up with a program that solves it. So we use different AI techniques to make the solution, come up with a solution that is both good and fast. We also work with the immigration department. They has digitized their form processing. So when you apply for a Hong Kong ID or you apply for a domestic helper, you have to submit an application form. And what we did for them is that we encoded the laws and regulation of Hong Kong into a computer form that we could use to process application form. So for example, if you want to arrive adult, we check if you're a Chinese national, have you been in Hong Kong 7 years, etc., etc. So it categorizes application forms based on the Hong Kong laws, and then we say yes, this is a clear case of okay, or no, this is a clear case of no. But there's also a gray area where humans make discretionary decisions. AI is used to learn from humans as well to improve their solutions. We also work with NTR engineering work. So one reason they use AI is that they have a lot of problems with their engineering scheduling. So we help them schedule time to fix their, to update their equipment. And it's, this is the NTR control center. Our software is installed in there as well, in some of these computers. NTR has made a video to explain this AI that they're using to help them schedule engineer work. So I'm going to show you this video.
由於信號故障，列車服務將稍為延遲。
That just happened just now.
咁其實信號系統係咩呢？點解要跟進呢個系統呢？
信號系統就好似我哋大腦一樣，會傳遞唔同嘅信息去追蹤同埋控制列車行駛速度，以確保行車嘅安全。而更新信號系統就係為咗加密列車班次作準備。 更新信號系統就好似做電腦神經手術一樣咁複雜，好多國家可能會封咗成條鐵路線一段時間，方便進行工程。
更新東鐵線同市區其他鐵路線嘅信號系統，係港鐵將現有鐵路服務升級到鐵路2.0嘅重點項目之一，亦同時係一項極高難度嘅挑戰。 為咗維持日常服務，港鐵工程團隊會喺每晚收車之後進行工程，扣除咗檢測時間，每晚只係得大約2個鐘頭可以做工程。為顧及附近居民以及配合日常鐵路維修工作，每星期只能夠進行3至5晚嘅工程，工程範圍亦有所限制，可能會令工程時間延長。 鐵線更新信號系統嘅工序包括：1. 鋪線；2. 擺放基座；3. 安裝信號設備；4. 接駁新系統同測試。 每晚測試完新系統，工程人員都會喺頭班車之前 轉翻去舊系統，並確保運作正常。過程中可能出現一啲預計唔到嘅情況，而影響第二日行車。黃金2小時之後，車務控制中心亦要進行各種測試，確保頭班車順利開出。喺種種挑戰下，要完成以上咁多工序，每3個車站約8公里嘅工程範圍，就要用超過10個月嘅時間。
呢個咁複雜又龐大嘅工程完成後，列車嘅班次可以再加密。如果萬一有任何嘅阻滯，令到列車服務因工程受阻，希望大家多多包容啦。
So now you know why there's problems sometimes. They're trying to improve the NDR. So what AI does in this case is that our AI program decides what needs to be done, where to do it, who should do it, what kind of equipment they have, and also consider things, environmental things, like if there's too many engineering work at the same location, we can be too noisy, and make sure that the equipment they have, the work they do is absolutely safe. You might have work that's next to each other. Sometimes the power is on, sometimes power off, to make sure that people don't get electrocuted. So there's, for this NDR system, there were several hundred rules and heuristics that we had to add into the computer, and then we use that to find the best solution. Okay, so that was a very quick overview of what is AI now. Deep learning, big data, cognitive computing. We saw where we came from. So a lot of things early days, 60, 70 years ago, we still use today, except that now it's more powerful because of our computing power. And what's the future like? I think a lot of you are here to hear that. What is the future like? Well, given the trend, the future is pretty evident. First of all, everything that can be connected will be connected. What that means is that we have a lot more IoT devices, a lot of things are connected, a lot of things are wireless. In the coming 5 or 10 years, this is the prediction of 5, 10 years, anything that can send a signal will be sending signals. So in 5, 10 years, there will be trillions of objects sending information out. And people say that by then, 10 years, there will be no secret. We will have absolute knowledge of everything, of what's happening in the world. So, hypothesize, everything's going to be safe because we know what's going on. And because we have the compute power, big data to analyze that data. Second is everything that can be at scale will be at scale. What that means is that things that can be processed by big data will be processed by big data. For example, Tesla learns how to drive car by not just watching 1 or 2 persons, or 10 persons, hundreds of persons. It watches all the people in the whole world, how they drive cars, and learn from that. In the future, AI will be learning from everybody in the world to become, to get their intelligence. AlphaGo learn from every single Go game player, who's been playing online. So at scale would be very important. Everything that can be learned will be learned. That's what people are doing now. You have deep learning. What's all these companies doing? They're throwing data at deep learning machines to see if they can learn that. So anything that can be learned will have been tried by all these computer companies to see if they can learn something useful. So deep learning will be applied to everything. Prediction of the year 2025, so less than 10 years away. We will have computers that is of the capability, complexity, and speed of the human brain by year 2025 for $1,000 US. Every one of us could afford a second brain. 2 brains is better than 1, right? So, and that is, I think that's doable. I mean, with Moore's law, computers are getting smaller and smaller, faster and faster, cheaper and cheaper. So just doing simple math, we will have an artificial human brain. Each one of us would be able to have that. Now, looking forward to 5 years, 10 years, that's easy. I think everyone can see what's going to happen. But looking further to maybe 20 years, 30 years. So Wong Kar-wai has a movie called 2046. And it's how many of you seen this movie? Only two? Okay. It's got an artsy movie, so only two. So the movie is about this guy that time travels to the future, year 2046. And that year, something magical happens. You can regain your old memories, but the problem is you will never be able to come back. So it's a one-way ticket. So maybe it's interesting. Maybe Wong Kar-wai know about something special because something special is going to happen 1 year before that. What is that? 1 year before that. So in order to remember the date, you remember the Wong Kar-wai movie 2046. The date that is going to impact the world is 2045. Okay, and people are very sure about that date. Bill Gates, a couple of years ago, first the machines would do a lot of jobs for us and not be super intelligent. A few decades after that, so a few decades, like 20, 30 years, the intelligence is going to be strong enough to be a concern. So he is a concern. Elon Musk, the CEO for Tesla, says, with artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. By creating AI, we're actually creating the devil. Why is that? So these are really intelligent people. We have to believe them, right? Stephen Hawking, another intelligent person, he said the development of full AI could spell the end of the human race. That's Stephen Hawking. He said that in year 2014. So why are all these highly intelligent people warning us about AI? Anybody know? Something's going to happen 2045. What's it called? It's called the technological singularity. Okay? So what it is that if you look from time, human intelligence has been improving with time very slowly. Humans, we're smarter than the previous generation, but very slowly. Whereas computer only got started in the 1950s and has improved dramatically. So based on just our prediction, computers would one day eventually be smarter than human beings. That's a given. You cannot deny that. You cannot say that computers can never be as smart as human beings. Based on the projection, one day eventually, if it's not 2045, it might be another day. Now, the computing power, it's kind of hard to grasp the improvement of computing power, but when the United States sent the first man to moon, if you take all the computers that NASA was using on ground and all the computers that the space capsule was using, you combine them all together, they are just a fraction of a normal smartphone. Your smartphone is millions of times more powerful than all the computers at NASA to take a person to the moon. So computing power has increased dramatically over the few years. So this is just a diagram of all the different computer advances. So a lot of people predict 2045 is a year that computers will be millions of times more powerful, smarter than human beings at that time. Computer will have computing power similar to humans here, but at that time they will be tremendously more smarter than human beings. Stephen Hawking warned us about alien life, but this quote could be used for AI as well. So he said that meeting an advanced civilization like the Native Americans encountering Columbus, that did not turn out so well. When one super intelligent race meets a not intelligent race, what usually happens? So there's a different scenario. We have the Terminator scenario where AI kills all humans. We have another scenario where humans become slaves of AI. Take your pick, which one would you prefer? So Elon Musk says, this is not going to work out. I don't want to die or I don't want to be slaves. So Elon Musk says that humans must be cyborgs to survive. So this is not me talking, this is Elon Musk saying that. Cyborgs means we're half human, half machine, half human, half AI. Ray Kurzweil, which is also an AI scientist and a futurist, he said that our brains can be connected to the cloud by the year 2030. Okay. Elon Musk, I've been getting a lot of phone calls from reporters because Elon Musk announced just I think last week or a week before that he has created a company to plug our brains to AI. So people have been hacking brains for a long time, so this is not something new. We've been trying to see how we can control and improve our brains. One of the best example is people with Parkinson's disease. For you that don't know, Parkinson's disease, and people cannot control their hands and their movement. But a surgery that plugs that implants electronic stimulators into your brain can cure that by affecting areas of the brain that is not functioning. So I'll just show you a really impressive video of how that works.
佢真係唔同咧，1999年開始呢個 DNB。
People suffering from ailments like tremors and Parkinson's disease rely on deep brain stimulation as a treatment option. And now researchers are exploring whether the same method can be used to treat everything from depression to disabilities caused by strokes. Deep brain stimulation, or DBS, is designed to use electrical currents to target abnormal brain activity. The method triggers blood flow and a series of chemical reactions that leads to the release of neurotransmitters. Together, these actions help correct malfunctioning connections in the brain. This is how DBS works. A neurologist and other specialists use MRI and CT scans of a patient to map out and hone in on the location of the brain that will be targeted. Doctors then surgically implant electrodes on the targeted areas of a patient's brain using a thin probe called a lead. A wire attached to the lead runs through the head, neck, and shoulder under the skin to the chest area, where it attaches to a battery-charged pulse generator that initiates electrical impulses. Then doctors turn on the lead, sending an electrical current to the brain. The patient, now awake, may be asked to move an arm, for example, so doctors can ensure that electrodes are precisely placed. A few weeks after the surgery, the patient visits an...
So people have been using this technology, and people, once they turn on it, they just act normal. And it's been going on. The surgery has been done, successfully done for like 20, 30 years. It's not brand new. What's brand new is that your U.S. FDA has approved it for regular use. Before it was only for very serious cases. So now it's more widely used, and that's why more and more people know about it. So this is sending signal into the brain to control the brain, but we can also send signal out from the brain. So there's also mind control bionic arms that is available.
So now let me go and turn on the arm. Can I go up? Okay, and back down.
So she's controlling the arm using her brain signal.
Today, you can control that using blood, the brain.
Opening the hand with just by brain control.
And every time we invent a new tool, that changes the way we live.
Mindful of the time, so I'm going to skip that video. So what we're trying to show is that besides using signals to influence the brain, we can also take signals from the brain to control external devices. And these arms and hands can also feel. If you touch something, those goes back to your brain as well. So it's pretty remarkable. So hacking the brain is not new, but Elon Musk has made it more public now. This is also legs, similar. People have invented little sensors this small, right on your finger, that can replace a Fitbit. So instead of wearing a Fitbit, you can just have that in your body 24/7 and get sensing of your body temperature, heartbeat, whatever. So that's already possible. It's wireless. that little thing is wireless. Harvard, a couple years ago, invented what is called the neural lace. This is what what Elon Musk is investing in. A neural lace is like a mesh-shaped thing. This is just the point of a needle, so you can inject that into the brain. And because the brain is a big network, a lot of neurons, you need that mesh to cover a lot of neurons. And that kind of, this mesh unfolds in the brain. And they've been successful in doing that for rats. Okay? So Elon Musk says that we need to do that for experiment on that for humans. And once we have that, then we could attach our brain to the cloud. With Google in our brain without typing anything. We just think about it. What is AI? And then instantly I know. Elon Musk said that this is logical because we're already cyborgs. We're already half computer, half AI. How many of you keep your cell phone, smartphone 24/7 next to you? So the new generation, they're all cyborgs, right? They're all constantly with their phone. Just joking. So Time magazine, in a cover a couple of years ago, thought this in a very positive way. The year 2045, the year man becomes immortal, because we're now not going to be killed by AI because we're part of AI. AI is us. We're connected to the cloud, and we're not going to die because our brains can be uploaded to the cloud. So that's in theory what scientists have been predicting. Okay, so if you're interested in the subject, there's a movie called Ghost in the Shell that's playing now that kind of debates this argument. Where a robot body implants a brain and the problems and issues that it's connected. So final thought before I leave you is, if eventually that happens, if we're partly AI and partly robot, are we still humans? Okay. Because we want to stay alive by adding more intelligence to ourselves, but if our intelligence is not really ours, where we have every one of us becomes super intelligent person. Each one of us has a big Google, Wikipedia in our brain. Does that affect how we act? Does it affect our relationship with other people? Does that affect our views to life? Because if our brain's in the cloud, then life there's no limit. So humans will not really be humans if that happens. So I leave with that question for you to ponder today. So that's all I have. Okay. Thank you for listening. Hopefully that's